introduce yourself?
Yes, sir, I'm Parth. I'm basically belong to Pune, Pune city. I have done my graduation from Ferguson College, and I'm also associated with an NGO which works especially in urban slums. I volunteer there for recent some years, and I'm also an enthusiast who likes to play, and also I'm often go to trekking.
Trekking where?
Trekking on forts of Maharashtra.
How many forts are there in Maharashtra?
Sir, there are different estimates, but there are more than 350 forts in Maharashtra, but only some of them are very historically important.
This country has the largest number of forts or castles.
No, sir, I'm not aware.
Wales has the largest number of castles. Germany also has built.
Okay.
Who destroyed the most of the forts in systematically in Maharashtra?
Sir, especially in Maharashtra, the Mughals have systematically destroyed, and after that, Britishers also.
Britishers, of course, are considered to be responsible. Okay, and just name 5 famous forts. Yes.
Sir, Raigad, which was the capital of Maratha, then Rajgarh. Janjira was also a very important fort. Pratapgarh and Shivneri, which is the birthplace of Chhatrapati Shivaji Maharaj.
Where is the Singar fort?
Yes, sir. Sinhagad Fort is also very important. Sir, Sinhagad Fort is situated in Pune, very near to Pune. It is famous for the famous battle of Tanaji Malusare versus Udayban in 1670. It is very good fortified and also very hard to get on also, and is very important from strategic point of view, so that the whole Pune and Konkan region can gets covered into it. So it was very important in that sense.
You also interested in Malkham.
Yes, sir.
What is Malkham?
Sir, Mallakham is a wrestler's pole. It's a literally meaning. It is like a wooden pole, and on which the gymnast perform the aerial yoga. So it's an acrobatics on a wooden pole. It is a very traditional Indian game. It's very good for the health overall.
Gada.
Yes.
Hanumanji or Bhim. Yes. Linked to Gada. Also used for the similar purpose for the body exercise. Yes. And Gada was given a curse. Are you aware of that? Yes. Political science and international relation was an option. Yes. Can you just tell us how the Taliban thing is going to affect India? The recent developments, and nobody knows where ultimately it will go to, but how it is affecting and how it will affect in future the relations with India, the Indian situation, scenario.
So it can affect India in multiple ways. Firstly, India has built and infrastructure in Afghanistan, which is more than 3 billion US dollars. So that infrastructural facilities would be in danger. Secondly, the main issue is about the terrorism and internal security, which are we have an apprehensions that the separatist and extremist terrorist activities, especially links with Al Qaeda, etc., can hamper our security interests. And then in the regional security environment also, India needs to be a good power holding capacity, so that in the comprehensive way, the Taliban can hamper India's interests.
Suppose Kabul falls tonight. Shall India recognize the Taliban government?
Sir, recognizing should be a very diplomatic maneuver and can be the last option, but engaging with Taliban definitely is a way forward.
Power through force, and India recognizing a government which has come into power through force, will it meet the basic principles and postulates for which India has always been known for?
Yes, sir. It would be very difficult if we look the Taliban as in power through force, and therefore, my position is that recognizing should be last, but we can engage with them, because engagement does not lead to legitimization. So, engagement for security purposes should be there, and recognizing should be very last option. If
Do you think that the Indians are basically watching the situation with closed eyes?
I would not say, sir, because India in United Nations Security Council, currently we have a presidentship. So we have raised the Afghan issue there also. We are trying for regional solutions, and our lines are very clear that political solutions should be there. Uh, but below the beyond that, India has very limited leverages and
Don't you think that the situation in the medieval ages or even today is almost same? The people are crying, the government is crying, the nation wants is the folded hand is appealing to the world, please save us. And beside lip service, nothing is being done by the entire world. Is this the modern world or is this the UN? This is what they are doing for.
yes, sir, this is very unfortunate because United Nations was envisioned through this purpose that there should not be violence, there should be peace, world order. So I definitely can concur with you that this is one of the failures of United Nations or UNSC as a body, because we are letting the violence and power in the forefront rather than the dialogues and deliberations. So UNSC has to reform to remain relevant. Uh, yes.
And why do India should also now is the time to go military support when the government is also asking. Afghanistan government is also asking for military support.
Sir, I would like to.
We are part of the UN peacekeeping force. Yes. So why we should not?
Sir, if it is an operation under UN peacekeeping force, definitely India can send its troops. But if, as a sovereign power, India sending troops to Afghan government, sir, I would beg to differ that India should not send its troop on foreign soils because past experience, not only of us, but also other powers. For example, US itself has backed, and it is not in favor in longer term. And also, we have a different threats in India at borders, etc. So, sending troops on our own should not be the option, in my opinion.
What are the principles of the non-alignment policy?
Sir, principles of non-alignment policies are first non-interference, second is sovereignty, third is mutual engagement, peaceful cooperation, and then also the issues related to the developing countries and autonomy.
And the punch sheet. Sorry, sir. Punch sheet.
Yes, sir. The Panchsheel also has similar characteristics as I said. For example, non-interference, mutual partnerships, uh, sovereignty, etc.
What are some of the very specific new policies introduced to the current financial budget?
Sir, the main important policy was raising the health budget, especially in vaccination also, and overall the health budget. Secondly, the budget for education and the related sectors was a.
Can you tell us in specific how much was there and how much has been increased?
No, sir, I'm not able to recall.
What was the total outlay of the budget?
Sorry, sir, I'm not able to recall.
How much is the GDP of the country?
Sir, India's GDP is around $2.8 trillion US dollars.
And which is the biggest source of revenue in terms of taxes?
Biggest source of revenue is. Sorry, sir, I'm not able to.
Path. What is the meaning? Path.
Sir, the literally meaning is the son of Prutha, and the Prutha was the other name of Kunti. So, in Mahabharata context, Arjun was known as Parth.
So, what qualities did your parents see in you when they decided to give you a name, or maybe aspirational values that they would like to see in you?
Sir, aspirational values would be like the concentration of on the goal, what the person aims to achieve. Second is about having a person who walks on the path of justice, what is just, what is ideal to have. And also, I would I envision that my parents would also like to me see as a person who is humble, who asks when he does not know, go to his teachers, his gurus. So I think these can be aspirational qualities.
Will you also be confused, when you are asked to do your duty because of some other emotional concerns?
Sir, I would take teachings from Arjun that a duty should be followed. So I would not be in a similar ethical dilemma, but if I am, I would definitely have a guidance, proper guidance.
What was the ethical dilemma in front of you?
Sir, the ethical dilemma was fighting for just cause and versus fighting with those with whom he has lived up to that year. So his gurus, his brothers, his relatives. So it was a very strong ethical dilemma.
How was that was resolved?
It was resolved through Lord Krishna coming to help and saying Bhagavad Gita that doing duty, what you are supposed to do, fighting for just cause is the ultimate way. So whether they are your relatives, whether you are enemies, but if you are fighting for just cause, it is justified.
Okay, what was the basic, what we can say, basic message of Gita? That one message that you would like to take with you and you will, kind of implement during your stint as an officer or administrator.
Sir, one message can be the karma yoga, that you have to do what you are supposed to do, and rather than expecting, sir, in very crude terms, we can say that karmanyavadikarastu mahaphaleshu kadachan, that you don't expect for fruits, but you do your duty, what is just.
That is Nishkam.
Yes.
Karma yoga.
Karma yoga is doing duty, doing actions, action like work is worship type ethics.
Right. There is some philosophy of Karma yoga, Jnana yoga, Bhakti yoga, Raj yoga. What are these different kinds of yoga? Can you explain?
Sir, I'm not exactly aware about the difference and exact meanings of these yogas.
You don't know what exactly Karma yoga is, but you are using it.
Sir, what I understand about Karma Yoga is doing action. The work is worship, and action is more important than just speaking. So, what I understand of Karma Yoga is this. I would look into that a bit deeper understanding.
So I could see your mother is a housewife, but there is still some income attached to her. How?
Sir, it is through different investments also and seasonal workshops, etc. So, it's very ad hoc. Sir, for example, some teaching to the cooking activities, etc. So it is not yearly basis, but it is ad hoc.
But then you need to write something because she's working. Whatever it might, she might be working once a month or
Yes.
2 days a month, 2 days a year also. But still she's working, isn't it? Like you are a writer, you write a book today, like Arundhati Roy, and you write another book 4 years down the line, but you still be called author, no?
Yes, sir.
So, what would you like to write there? Housewife is, generally seen as the one who doesn't do any economic activity, traditional economic activity.
Yes.
To be very politically correct. So, what is the profession that you would like to mention for her? Or you don't recognize her profession as profession?
No, sir, that is not the case. I could have written a seasonal working with.
What work exactly? Teaching, cooking classes. What is
Yes, sir. It is about the cooking classes also.
whatever. Okay, that's not good that in spite of you knowing that she works and earns on her own, you still may consider her as a housewife, trying to indicate that she does not involve herself in any economic activity, isn't it? Okay. See, what is gender budgeting?
Sir, gender budgeting is about allocating specific amounts for the gender in each department also, and the crude budget also. So the gender-based allocation of resources and gender-based policies, gender-based outcomes also are envisioned there.
So, are we doing it as India or any other state doing it?
Sir, recently Odisha has Odisha has led to its budget also and different policy measures also, that specific number of specific percentage of resources should be going to gender. So Odisha is definitely there.
Budget is very different.
Yes.
Policy is government's decision. Tomorrow they can just change it with a stroke of a pen. But budget is an act of whatever assembly and parliament. Yes. So policy is not a gender budgeting. It might be some detailing on the basis of gender budgeting. Anybody doing gender budgeting?
I'm not specifically.
Government of India has ever tried doing that?
Yes, Government of India tried, but currently I'm not aware about it.
Should we do it?
Yes, sir, definitely.
Why are they doing it?
Sir, it is important because the gender, the women or transgender also are seen as an very the class which has to be empowered. So if they empower the country, the population empowers. Secondly, the resources has to be very specific to.
That everybody knows. Would it also do that? I'm asking why aren't they doing it? You got my question?
Yes, sir.
So if you're so obvious about it, why are not they doing it?
Sir, maybe the reason I can assume that we have a different ministries for such sections. For example, the Social Justice Ministry or Ministry for Women and Child Development. So maybe that can be one view, that this can be done through the ministries rather than different departments.
Okay. But if you are given if you become an IFS officer and given a choice to work in a country, which country would you like to work in?
Sir, I would like to work in China.
Why?
Sir, because China is emerging power, and definitely in future India and China relationship would shape not only the politics of Asia but also the world. So definitely I would like to work in China.
But you make sure that that never happens. Isn't it?
Yes, sir. Technically, yes. Sir, because I would like to work in India, and the first reason is that, and second reason is that I like international relations as a subject, but I would not like it as a career. So these can be.
Okay, so don't you think not opted would have been more honest selection here rather than writing C?
No, sir, the preferences have to be chosen, so I have chosen accordingly.
Preferences have to be chosen on the basis of some rationale. Yes, that you can justify and you can convey. You just said that you don't like to work and that's just the interest area. So you make sure that you not get it. You just said that. Or you would have to take back or explain something else.
No, sir, if I get allotted to that service, I would definitely do it.
That anyway you will say that everybody knows.
Yes.
So, but point is, don't you think not doctor would have been a better choice? Because if you don't want to, just say not doctor. I would like to work in India. What's the problem?
I would say that keeping it also does not any problem. So
There is a problem. No? Because you are saying that you not like to work, but you're still mentioning it's free.
I would not prefer to work. It's not like I would not.
Over what?
Sorry.
Prefer over what?
Like prefer over the other services, the first two services. So I would prefer those services before this. But if I get this service, it would be okay. It's not like I would not like to work, but I would not prefer first to work.
Seems to be, you are just. You have seen the movie Natwarlal?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Have you heard anything called Natwarlal? The word Natwarlal in Hindi context.
I have heard, but
What is the meaning? Who is called Natwarlal generally?
no, sir, I'm not aware about it.
Somebody who, bluffs things. So you seem to me like that. Clearly yourself saying one thing at one time, then another thing another time.
I think I could correct on my. The second answer I gave was more correct.
Okay, bye. Thank you.
So you said that you don't want an international career. So why this particular option, political science and international studies?
Sir, because as a subject, it has a very. I like to read about it, especially about.
Because you are given it as a third option. So, what you are interested, you read also for 3 years, and now you are getting opportunity to show the knowledge, use the knowledge, but you are declining it.
Sir, I would say that knowledge of political science or IR should not be, is not limited only to IFS as a service. It can be used in any service, any civil service, or even, sir, there can be different ways. First, we learn about the Constitution of India, and going into civil services, knowledge about Constitution and institutions is very important. Second is about the governance part. We learn in political science about many concepts like justice, equality, making society better. And I think the job of civil service is also the same, that you have to make society better than what is. So that is important. And I think the knowledge of international relations can also be used in civil services. For example, every district has some export potential. Every district has some peculiarities which can be linked with the different powers, different models. So I think that knowledge is not wasted.
Can you tell me some schemes related to this export thing? Like you told that there is peculiarity of certain subjects, certain items,
Yes.
certain things which we want to export. So, any government initiative?
Sir, with reference to that point, the government initiative is the one district, one product. Recently, it has envisioned that every district should focus on one product and it should excel in it, so that the national economy, national market demand also, and for export potential.
Government of India or government of Uttar Pradesh?
Sir, it was government of Uttar Pradesh which has delineated the policy, but also in government of India, the talks and the pathways are based on this policy.
So, you have written about Mallakhambh.
Yes.
So, what are the different other names of wrestling in other parts of India?
Wrestling. Sir, in general, it is called as Kushti. Also, Malla Yuddha is also one of the names of wrestling. Sir, I think it's in North India, but I'm not sure. To my limited knowledge, it is in North India.
So, we can go to project leading NGO.
Yes.
How many NGOs are there?
Sir, there are more than 20,000 NGOs registered with the, yes, more than 20,000 are registered with the government, but there are, if you see about the unregistered or very small NGOs, they are very in a number of like lakhs of NGOs there.
So, what are the different way of registering an NGOs?
So I think one portal is there, eDarpan. There,
Recent Supreme Court guidelines regarding NGO. Okay. Have you heard about FCI?
yes, sir.
So, recently government got amendments regarding NGO and FCI. What was that?
Sir, it was about the regulation of foreign funding to NGOs. So it has done many provisions. For example, only one FCRA registered account should be there where every amount of foreign funding can be done.
So, what was before?
Sir, before it was not like this policy, so it could have been different accounts.
You have written about certificate course in gender and development.
Yes.
So, what is the Istanbul Convention regarding gender parity related to gender?
Stanford Convention,
Istanbul Convention.
Istanbul Convention.
And
No,
what
sir.
about the term honor killing?
Yes, sir. Sir, honor killing is about killing of own daughters and girls because of the honor and the identity.
How it is connected with Istanbul Convention? Okay. So, you have written about gender and development. So, how gender, like women, are negatively affected by development?
Negatively. Sir, in ideal sense, they should not. But if we see that some policies, for example, I can assume of the policies related to dam and rehabilitation. So, in any such policies, the gender or the women is the worst affected part due to different locations. Sir, for example, when we build a dam, there has to be displacement. and when displacement happens, the burden falls.
Have you heard about scrappage policy in the newspaper?
Yes, sir. So it is about scrappage of old vehicles and using the remanufacturing and making it into the economy.
What will be the benefit? How it is going to affect automobile industry?
Sir, it could help through the recycling. So there can be the parts, the raw material can be we can get that through that part. And
Will be the law we are scrapping this policy?
no, sir, there are different other reasons also. It's related to environment also, and
BS law. BS law, BS law,
yes.
BS2.
Sir, BS1 is about the quality and specifications about the engines and the control of air pollution especially.
Which BS is going to presently?
Sir, it is about BS4. In Delhi, it is BS6.
Have you heard recently about Assam conflict?
Yes, sir.
What is it?
Sir, it is the manifestation of the traditional boundary disputes between Assam and Mizoram. So it was a clash between the police also and the civilians also in the border regions, especially the Kachar region of Assam.
Okay. Have you heard about UNCLOS? Why it is in the news in context of India and US?
Sir, UN clause is an agreement, it's an international law based on the maritime domain, how defining the different concepts. Recently, what I can recall about India and US that US was into the Indian territory without permission, and India it was near the Lakshadweep as per my knowledge. So I'm not sure. I think I have read about.
So, how much allocation is there in health regarding vaccination in 2021? This budget, 21-22.
So specific number I'm not aware about.
Last question.
Yes.
What are the other names of Arjun? There were 10 names of Arjun.
Sir, other name? Yes.
What about the rest 9?
Sir, I know some. Dhananjay is one of its name. Then Gandhi Udhari is also because of its.
Gandhi Udhari was not one of them.
Okay.
So, please see.
Hi, sir.
You have mentioned Malcolm, right?
Yes, sir.
So, it's a sport.
Yes.
So, can it be included in Olympics?
Sorry, sir.
Can it be included in Olympics or not? Or I need to ask you, but what are the various criteria to include any sport in Olympics?
Sir, there are different criteria. First, the sport has to be recognized by International Olympic Committee. Secondly, there should be international organization for rules and regulations and guidelines for that sport. And then thirdly, to include in Olympic, it has to specify criteria like 75 countries and 4 continents to be included in men's event, and 3 continents and 40 countries for women event. So there are some certain criteria to which Mallakhamb is not right now applicable, but in future it can.
Okay. India should back for, in order to gain more goals, India should back for including more Indian sports.
Yes, sir, we can outreach should be increased. So if that happens, definitely.
You have mentioned tracking on force of Maharashtra, right?
Yes, sir.
So, what's the difference between tracking and hiking? I think hiking would have been a better word for here. In place of tracking, it should be hiking, in my opinion. So,
Sir, in general, hiking is one day and very simple. It's just a fun activity kind of thing. Trekking involves certain moderate or difficult level treks, 2-3 days. So both can be good words for trekking in Maharashtra, because some forts and some places need 2-3 days and are difficult, and some are very simple, which can be one can go morning and come back evening. So it's a mix of two things.
what was your exact role as a project lead NGO?
Sir, our NGO works in 17 different locations, and I was head at one location where we gather children every evening and we work for their physical development, mental development, educational development, social traits development. And there are different kind of activities going on, right from the sports to outreach to visits, tours, debates, etc. So I was leading one such project in one locality.
And who is funding membership?
So it is funded through CSR also and the private donations also and also foreign donations. CSRs like Tata and Persistent Organization.
What are the various challenges faced by urban slum children, especially related to education sector?
Sir, I think the most important challenge is about the lack of proper guidance, because what I have through my experience observed that they go to the Jilla Parishad schools, and which unfortunately do not have good teachers and good mentors. They do not. Secondly, they do not have good models to see, because where from they come, the environment, the visibility of crime and antisocial activities is much larger. So these two are important things. And in COVID times, I have observed that the digital divide is also stark in urban slums. So that is also an important issue in education sector.
To what extent this digital education can alleviate these problems?
Sir, yes, to very great extent, digital education can alleviate the first two problems what I said, because even we try to inculcate digital education in our activities. For example, we through Zoom calls, etc., have interactions with different dignitaries, different social workers, so that without physically going there, they can come to us through digital and they can get exposure, guidance, mentoring. They can see that okay, this can be also one future we can go to. So I think definitely digital education is very important.
And how do you motivate others to come to your NGO? I mean, how do you afford quality teachers and all those are volunteers or they get paid for volunteering?
So fortunately, most of the are the volunteers, because of the noble cause they come and they whatever they time they can give, they give. Some teachers we pay them because we also want their precious time also and their quality also. So most of our volunteers and some of the office staff or some of the teachers are paid.
Parth, I have one question for you. You mentioned that your parents, the aspirational qualities that your parents want to see.
Yes.
You mentioned that justice is one of the
Yes.
qualities that they want to see. So I will give an example. Suppose one of your sibling, suppose you are a district magistrate,
Yes.
you are in a very powerful position, and one of your siblings has committed a heinous crime. So what would you do in such a case?
Sir, if the heinous crime is committed, then definitely the law should take its course. I would not interfere in that. That should be a very simple strategy for me. Sir, but heinous crime is very, one cannot protect such person.
If it was normal crime, non-heinous, then
That also, sir, I can help him through guidance or whatever the call, but from official position, I should not help and I would not.
but you have to take some action also. No? It's not that you will not do it.
No, sir, action and the law agencies would do their.
You are a lawyer, you are a district head. You are you are sitting in the pinnacle of the law.
Yes, sir. So I would tell the police officers to have their make sure that yes, I would make sure that the justice is being done and it would be perceived by people also that the justice is being done.
Last question.
Yes, sir.
Why you want to join civil service?
Sir, as I said that I work with NGO, so I have a very vast very different experience interacting with system at right from the Gram Sabha to the commissioner's office. So I have interacted with system and I got to know that it is very important a tool through which we can positively intervene in society. So this is one of my motivation gained by experience. And second is also I would like to have some different challenges in front of me so that I can develop my own personality. So I think the civil services would give that opportunity also in abundance. So for these two reasons, and also the other material interests are taken care of you. So I think it is the best choice I can go for.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.